All right, I'm going to read. Follow me. Come with me. All right, she's talking about her wedding. The only song Georgie insisted on was Leather and Lace. That had started out as a joke. Leather and Lace was playing in a restaurant on one of their first dates, and Georgie cracked herself up telling Neil that it was our song. Then they both tried and failed to think of a more ridiculous our song. Neil suggested Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves. Georgie pushed for the theme from Taxi, which is good. Do you know the theme from Taxi? There's like a 7-minute version on Spotify that I have listened to a lot. Do you know Gypsies, Tramps, and Thieves? Oh yeah. That's a long time was the song that played when my mother called. It was funny. And my sister had the Sanford and Son theme song for my mother. So if you put those two songs together, I feel like you know everything you need to know about your mother. But you know Leather and Lace, right? Right? It's Stevie Nicks. Just leave if you don't know it, because you're not going to get this whole scene. It's got the best line, take from me my leather. No, give to me your leather, take from me my lace, which is a very romantic thing to say to anyone. Take from me my leather. Okay. After that, Leather and Lace kept coming on the radio at significant moments in their relationship. Once when Neil was kissing her in the car outside her mom's house. Once on a road trip to San Francisco. Once when Georgie thought she was pregnant and they were waiting at line at Walgreens to buy a clear Blue Easy. Neil with his hand on her back. Georgie holding the pregnancy test like it was a pack of gum. Stevie Nicks crooning about having her own life and being stronger than you know. At some point, Leather and Lace just became their song. For real. This is true, actually, of my husband and I. When we would joke about getting married and playing Leather and Lace, and like the look on people's faces at our wedding when they were like, okay, the couple's gonna dance to their song, and Leather and Lace would start, and we would just have straight faces, like, what do you mean, are you judging us? Don't laugh at our song. We didn't, though. Do you want to know our wedding song? I'll tell you now. It was Rainbow Round My Shoulder. Do you know that song? There's a rainbow round my shoulder. Do you know that? It's a good song. It's kind of a swing song. It's not a song I would have picked, honestly, but I feel like when your name is Rainbow and life gives you that song, you kind of just need to go. At some point, Leather and Lace just became their song for real. When it started to play on their wedding day on Neil's parents' patio, Georgia got all choked up. I guess I could move the book, not the mic. Was that the moment she realized she was actually getting married? Or was it just the moment she realized she'd landed a guy who would dance with her totally sincerely, forehead to forehead, to Leather and Lace? Stay with me, stay. After Leather and Lace, Neil danced with his mom to Moon River, the Andy Williams version. Then Georgie danced with Seth, and Neil danced with Heather to Both Sides Now, the Judy Collins version. She didn't write it, but she does the best version, and I feel guilty saying that. I was like, did you any bunch of versions? A few hours later, when everyone else had were gone inside, Seth left for the airport right after the cake. Neil and Georgie stayed out on the patio, slow dancing to whatever came on the oldie station. They'd never really danced together before that day or since, and truthfully, they weren't doing much dancing, even then. Neil held Georgie with one hand on the small of her back and one on the back of her neck, and Georgie leaned against him with both hands on his chest, and they swayed from side to side. It wasn't dancing. It was just a way to make the wedding last, a way to stay in the moment, rolling it over and over in their heads. We are married now. We're married. You don't know when you're 23. You don't know what it really means to crawl into someone else's life and stay there. You can't see all the ways you're going to get tangled, how you're going to bond, skin to skin, how the idea of separating will feel in 5 years, in 10, in 15. When Georgie thought about divorce now, she imagined lying side by side with Neil on 2 operating tables while a team of doctors tried to unthread their vascular systems. She didn't know at 23, that day out on the patio. It just felt like the biggest day of her life so far. Not the biggest day of her life from now on. Not the day that would change everything, that would change her at a cellular level. Like a virus that rewrites your DNA. That day, that evening, out on the patio, Georgie pretended to dance. She clung to Neil's shirt. They rubbed their noses together. "You're my wife," Neil said. And then he laughed, and she tried to catch his dimples with her teeth. Like if she caught them, she might get to keep them. Maybe Georgie had gotten a glimpse of it then, the way infinity unspooled from where they were swaying, the way everything she was ever going to be from then on was irrevocably tethered to that day, that decision. Neil was wearing a navy blue suit, and he'd waited to get his hair cut until the day before the wedding, so it was a little too short. "Yours," she said. Neil squeezed the back of her neck. "Mine."